Hello, this is the Bryan Station Diversity Podcast. We're here with our moderator, Mr. Keaton, William Long, Sebastian Astolfo, and Ash Glanson.
Yay.
Hi. Yay. You get a golf clap.
Oh, yeah.
All right, folks. Well, talk about yourselves a little bit. Give us a little introduction. Who are you? Where are you from? What school you go to? How old are you?
All right.
What did you eat for breakfast this morning?
Who wants to go first?
Would you like to go first? Will, would you like to
Sure, I can go first. All right. So my name is Will Long. I go to Bryan Station High School. I was born in Lexington, Kentucky. Lived here my entire life. My family, I guess, is like upper middle class. And for breakfast today, I had waffles, Eggo waffles to be specific. I put them in a toaster because I can't make food.
Sounds delicious.
They were pretty good.
Did you put syrup on it?
I did put syrup on them. I did.
You would put syrup on them.
Yeah.
Would you not put syrup on waffles?
Yeah. Shouldn't you
If
put
you
syrup
didn't have
on
any
it?
syrup.
Yeah, I guess if I didn't have syrup, I wouldn't put syrup on my waffles.
I wouldn't even eat the waffle if I didn't have syrup.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to eat the waffle. All right, I guess. All right, let's move on. Ash, you wanna follow?
Of course I
follow
can
me up?
go.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I don't want to
Okay.
say thank you.
My name is Ashlyn Glasson. I just go by Ash because that's easier for everybody. I also go to Bryan Station. I am a senior. I am in like lower class, I think. I don't know how that works normally. And for breakfast, I had leftover Chinese homemade because that's all I had in the house.
Man, I forgot I should have totally said what grade I was in.
You could say it now.
Yeah.
Say that.
Well, for everybody who's wondering, I am a junior in high school. So, all right. Sebastian.
Hello, my name is Sebastian Astolfo. I go to Bryan Station. I'm a senior this year. I am lower mid class. And today I had nothing for breakfast and ate lunch instead. Teriyaki noodles.
Nice.
A delicious.
That sounds good, though, to be honest.
Mm-hmm.
Sounds really good.
I
That's
don't know
pretty
that I've ever
good.
put teriyaki on noodles before. Maybe I should try that sometime.
Teriyaki on noodles.
Very
Honestly, though, I kind of want to try it. It sounds pretty good, to be honest.
good. Very good.
It's
very
really good. Yeah.
I'll have to pick up some of those packets that he had.
I've been putting hot sauce on lots of things myself.
Now every time I go to Mod, I put jalapenos on my pizza, and it's awesome now.
I got
I
the
don't
old
like
Frank sauce
hot
and dumping on everything right.
You know, like hot foods.
No, I don't like hot sauce, but I like buffalo sauce recently. I used to hate it. Now I love it.
Awesome. All right.
All right, let's get into some questions here. Sorry about the accent.
Love
In the
the
past-
accent. Yeah, you should keep it.
In the past, did you struggle because of your social class or your demographic or whatever group you might represent?
As far as I can remember, my family did not struggle too much. We always were able to get by for the most part. There were a couple instances where I guess it could be seen as struggle, but for the most part, no. I haven't really had to struggle much in my life. I'm not like rich or anything, but my family's been pretty well off for the most part.
For me, it was more or less about not necessarily economic class, but like who I identify as a person. It was more bad. It was worse through middle school, but it wasn't necessarily life-changing, well, sort of, but it wasn't like in a bad way life-changing. Because in middle school, I came out as lesbian, and it was just a very rough time, but it wasn't like I was affected in a bad way. It was just like a easygoing, no, like bad consequences or anything. I got blessed in that, I guess.
So for me, regarding my past, we didn't really grow up poor, I would say. We had the bare minimum, and I just remember it as a hard time for my parents to get by. And when we finally moved up to a nice house in the suburbans, urban area in Lexington, we it was still really hard for us to pay what we owed for the house. So we still had the bare minimum, sleeping on the mattress, on the ground, and only having like two chairs to eat at the dining table. And so struggling wise, I've always been in my house, protected, overprotected, as you could say. And I've been told over the years that, I need to get a career. I have to get a career. It will boost me up. It will put me above others, that I will have a guaranteed job that will get me very well paid, because my parents didn't have the opportunity to study. And that's why, and they had to work multiple jobs to get where they are right now. So
There
So
should
has
be
anything
like,
changed since then? Now that you all have said where your past is, anything changed since then? Just your presence today different than what it was?
well, I mean, I've become a little more like aware of my family's like wealth in a sense, because I know there was an experience a little bit ago that kind of like spooked me a little bit in a sense, because a little bit ago we were helping my grandma move into her new house and all that, and we had taken some furniture. I don't know if you guys can hear that, but that is my garage door just like opening, and I'm right over the garage, so it's like super loud. So I don't know if you guys heard that or not. But no, so we had taken some furniture that we couldn't pack into like the U-Haul. We'd taken it back to our house for safekeeping, and so there are two sides to my basement. One is like for storage, and one's for everything else. Storage one is crappy and full of just random crap. It's not organized whatsoever. So my dad was putting a chair down there, and he slipped and like hurt his like leg pop, and he like passed out for a little bit, and we're all freaking out. We went to call 911. He came to like about 2 minutes after I started the call, and then he started yelling out, "Yeah, don't don't call an ambulance. We can't afford that. Don't call an ambulance," and all that kind of thing. And that has stuck with me since that situation, because I mean, yeah, that's kind of I never really thought about it until now. So I mean, thankfully he was fine. He just like twisted it really badly, and I mean he's good now. He had to like, yeah, I think he had a mini cast for a little bit, but I mean other than that he's been fine now. He's able to do whatever else he's been doing, and yeah, that's kind of what's made me a little more aware of my I guess class or economic standing. So yeah, I think Sebastian left.
He'll be
Also,
back.
Yeah.
excuse my dog. I can't control that.
Ashton, what
That's
about you?
crazy.
Things changed for you?
Nothing really changed. I just became more aware of the community I'm in now and all of our struggles. It's after, coming out and, accepting myself for who I am. I found that my community of people are struggling a lot more than what's shown, and it's just taught me to be more aware of my surroundings, not only with the communities that I'm in, but also other communities as well. So it's not really, but
So you would say the struggles that you encountered in middle school are still there?
a little bit. It's like I still get people that are like, Like back in sophomore year, people asked me if I was pregnant over and over and over again, but it was just like a tumor. It wasn't a child, and felt kind of awful in a way because I was like, oh, so I guess I'm not who I thought I was. So I struggled even today with identity in that spectrum of identity.
So it isn't just about coming out; it was about your health as well.
It first it was just about that, and then it became a mixed pot of issues that bounced off of each other for a very long time. I got doctors asking if I was pregnant every time they saw me because it looked that way, and I knew that I didn't like that kind of thing in that spectrum. So it's just really back and forward with both. I didn't want it to be. I didn't want it to be the same category because they're two completely different things, but they just melted together into one, if you get what I'm saying.
No, I think we do.
No, it makes sense. Do you think like it's gotten better or worse since middle school? Like, do you think it was better in middle school or is it better in high school?
I think it's better now because as people grow up, because of course in middle school we all were childish or immature or whatever. And then as you hit high school, you're like, oh, this is who I am. This is who I've become. And I've come to terms with it. It doesn't become necessarily intense or anything. Or like, it didn't become worse. It actually became a lot better than it used to be. I was able to meet people like me more because in middle school, I was really scared to talk to people about it. But now in high school, I'm more open about it. I talk to more people like me, and it feels more accepting now than it did in middle school.
Sebastian, what happened to you? You disappeared for a second.
Yeah, you disappeared.
Okay, so my Wi-Fi officially went out and then went back on.
Nice. That's
So
awesome.
Now we're good. Now
we're good. Okay. I love when that happens when your Wi-Fi just cuts out in the middle of something.
I should check the battery on this hotspot. It's cool. I was just making sure. I didn't want to cut out and then not be able to come back in.
Yeah.
Well, Sebastian, they were answering, how are things present day? Has it changed? You described some in the past. Is it the same or is it changed?
It has very well changed in the fact of keeping what we have. Since I was young, we didn't have a lot, and most of the things that we need or get is mostly bought from pawn shops or stuff like on eBay or Facebook Marketplace. So right now, I would say we're in a better place where we can officially go to Best Buy and let's say buy something with a credit card and pay it off monthly. So we're not struggling as much as before money wise, but as much as we're trying to keep what we already have. And when it comes to my parents trying to help me with college and trying to buy me things that I want, it's all money. So they give me a mindset that I have to earn it. So everything comes from my grades, and to me it feels rewarding, but at the same time I know my parents are putting a lot of effort into trying to give me what I want. So I try to lay low on that and try to not ask for a lot. But at the same time, I would like to be grateful that my parents are putting a lot of effort into their work and where they're doing for me and for us to keep what we have. So we are managing money better. We're managing what we have better, and we're not going willy-nilly with the money. So
How involved are you with that personally? Or are you just watching what your parents do, or are you also involved in it, managing the money?
I'm also part of it in the sense that I am, my parents, they would buy me things, and everything costs something. So when they tell me, oh, this will cost something and I need to earn it through grades, I put in mind that they have to go out of the way to actually work more. So sometimes when they have to do a separate job, I go and help them with their different other jobs. And I can tell by the way that they're being paid through their checks and through all of those. I can tell that they're not gaining as much as they're supposed to. And I really think it's because of their ethnicity that we're not getting as much as an opportunity that other people would. And I saw it on my tax reports that while filing out my FAFSA, that we're actually paying more taxes than an average like middle class people would. And I don't know why. And it comes to the realization that for the past 20 years of my parents that lived in Kentucky, that they've been working double time than most people would normally do to actually have what we have now. So it involves me and it involves everything that they do.
All right, guys. So you've talked a bit about where you're from, where you are. So what about the future? What are you hopes for the future? 5 years from now, what are you hoping your life will be like? What we've accomplished? Where do you want to be? What about the future?
For me personally, I mean, I'm still not completely sure about what I want to do. To be honest, like I have stuff I want to do, but I'm not sure it's obtainable or I can actually do it. And I mean, I guess I'm looking at a lot of schools. I don't want to make my parents pay too much for college because I know that they've paid enough already raising me and all that. So I mean later. I mean, a good example of that is like later today, I'm gonna go have a conversation with like a National Guard recruiter because I mean they'll pay for your tuition if you go to college and stuff, but I'll have to serve 4 years in that. Hopefully in college, so I can get like a steady stream of pay. While I'm in there, I won't have to work at like my current job at Hobby Lobby or something like that, because that would suck. But yeah, I guess career wise, I I think my big like dream job would be either filmmaking or acting, and getting into like film and that sort of thing. But I'm not completely sure how obtainable that is. So, I mean, I'm looking at colleges for, I mean, my other interest, which would be, I guess, politics and history, and a way more boring career path, if you ask me. So, like foreign affairs and that kind of thing. So, I mean, especially considering there's not too many fantastic schools or affordable schools in Kentucky and out of state. So, for what I want to study. So, I mean, I guess my big plan, my grand plan right now is to get through college and study study like foreign affairs and that sort of thing. Maybe serve in the National Guard so I can get that completely paid off and so I can have a steady stream of income while I'm in college. And then after college, maybe wait a year or two and then maybe move out to either Atlanta, LA, or New York for 3 years and give my dream job a chance. And if that doesn't happen after 3 years, I'll come back and try to pursue the career I actually studied for.
So immediately after high school, do you think that college is your only option?
It definitely feels like that, yeah. Definitely seems that way. I mean, in the US especially, college is seen as like the ultimate goal for, it's like the make or break whether you do good in life or you don't. So if you don't study in college, well, you're a bum or something like that. Like that's how it's made out to be. You're a bum. You suck. You didn't like, you weren't good enough or something.
A lot of pressure to
So
put on you there.
yeah, and I mean, if you get through college, I mean, you're seen as a somewhat success by that point after you get through it.
And then you move back
So
into your parents' basement.
yeah, then you move back into your parents' basement, and it was all, and you just sunk 50K into nothing. So yeah, it's, I don't know. It definitely seems like I have to go to college, and yeah, I mean, my parents have been really supportive with what I've wanted to do, and they've said that if I don't want to go to college, I don't have to. But they've still kind of like, I mean, I don't think intentionally, but they've like pushed the narrative that I have to go to college, even though they've said that I don't. So
Mhm.
yeah.
What about you, Ashlyn? What is your future going to look like? What do you hope?
I'm hoping to become cancer free. That's one of my big hopes. That's one I'm looking forward to, have been looking forward to for a couple of years now. Instead of college, unlike completely the opposite, my plans are to travel the world. I'm currently studying a bunch of languages right now, so I'm ready. I'm ready to go. My first place is Asia, and then kind of explore the Eastern Hemisphere, and then come back to explore the southern half of the Western Hemisphere, I guess. But I don't think my future is very bleak, though. Like, that was my past hopes for the future, but now it's mostly mammograms and MRIs and a lot of hospital and a little personal time. So college for me right now is very a no-go, just to keep myself safe rather than educated and sorry.
That's all the immediate future, your next 5 years, is that's what you think it will look like?
Yeah. In 5 years, I'll be, 23? So that would be 2 years out of chemo, 2 years into remission, because I got into remission when I'm 21, and then nothing but mammograms by the time I hit 20. MRIs and mammograms. That's just 2 years from now.
How often do you have to do that?
Every 6 months for the rest of my life.
Hmm.
And then if they don't see anything, they'll like space it out to like a year or something. But right now it's like every 6 months of nothing but MRIs and all that. Like, I just finished. My future is hospital, and more white, boring hospitals. But at least the clinic that I go to is really nice and not so white and bleak for now. I have a very boring future
Mhm.
compared to a
I
lot
don't
of
know that I would
people
describe it as boring.
I'll claim like college stuff. I can't even look at, like, I get college texts every day if people want me to go to colleges. I get stuff from Moorhead, EKU, just a bunch of different places. But I'm not going to college this coming year because I'd rather focus on my health and just get at either doing it online would be a really good idea if it wasn't so expensive. But
How are you studying foreign languages then?
I'm doing them on Duolingo.
I was gonna say Duolingo.
Yeah,
Speak
I used to
Spanish or
have
die.
And I'm doing Korean, Japanese, and Chinese right now. I've been in Korean for like 2 years, Japanese for half a year, or on and off for half a year, and Chinese for only the first couple of weeks now. It's difficult.
Yeah, I imagine.
Yeah, I imagine, especially considering those languages have like virtually nothing in common with English. Yeah,
There's
I'd imagine.
English given words, though. Like, there's
Mhm.
just English words but in their language, which is the
Yeah.
easiest for me.
Hmm.
But right now, Korean is the
So.
easiest, but that's only because I've been studying it for a couple of years now.
Hmm. Yeah.
I still can't say a full sentence yet, but
Next 5 years. Okay.
Sure.
So I was planning to go to college, and it's being very forceful about it from my parents, saying that I need to go to college. I need to get a career, that I'm going to be the first generation that goes to college in my family that will have the opportunities to get it. And there in UK that I'm going to, hopefully there's a scholarship for a diversity where it will either pay half of my tuition or full tuition. So hopefully I can either get half or full. But other than that, I feel like if money is going to be a struggle, and I know my parents are saying that they can pay for my tuition, I wouldn't want to go to college to put my parents in so much like money problems.
Mhm.
And so I feel like it's either going to BCTC for my first 2 years and then going to UK, or just going straight to UK for that scholarship if I ever get it. But I don't want to put my parents in the same situation as before, where they had to struggle to keep what we have. And right now we're really debating on whether or not to move to a smaller house and to just keep everything to the minimum. So I feel like there's going to be a lot of big changes in the next coming 5 years. I can't really predict it because I never knew that I was going to be in a situation as I am right now 5 years ago. And certainly I don't know what I'll be able to do or what I'll be able to accomplish in the next 5 years, but hopefully all good things.
Well, what does it mean to you if you are a first generation college graduate? I mean, 5 years from now, that could very well be what it is.
Being able to graduate from Bryan Station with a diploma saying that I'm officially bilingual can really help me with a lot of things in money wise and job career wise. And it really would help to get the scholarship and for my parents to pay the minimum that they need for me to go to college. But I wouldn't say I'm looking at what I'll be able to do after college, or I really want to emphasize that I don't know how college is like at all. So I don't know what I'm going to do between like right now filling out my FAFSA and trying to apply to colleges that seem in my price range until graduation where I've already have the major. So like I don't know how the minors work or the majors, the bachelor degrees and all that. So I'm worried about what I'm going to study in college.
You have no idea what you'd want to study right now?
I've been trying out a lot of things right now. I used to be in the engineer program. I'm in the IT program right now. I love the IT program. I love it.
I feel that, man.
I don't
100% feel that.
because I want to get a job or a career that can guarantee me a place where I won't be just fired because of unexperiencedness or like without, just hours of work time. I want like a job that I can like sustain myself, stable income, and be able to, like it and love it. Because if I don't like it, then why would I study it? So I'm in between of like trying new things and seeing what I like, and like not knowing what the future will hold.
You are definitely tapping into something that I've heard from countless students, and even Ashton and Will just mentioned it. That's this idea that this question of what in the world am I going to do with the rest of my life? Something that presses down on high school students, and the idea that you have to pick some sort of major or some sort of career idea by the time you're 18 or your life's done. Seems to be a pressure that everyone feels.
Yeah, man. All I'm gonna say about that is I wish I didn't like discover some more of my interests, because this would have been a way easier process.
I got like a million interests. Like I want to do creative writing, art, like astrophysics.
Exactly.
It's all just completely different. But
Yeah.
I'm just
I wish I just stuck with being a sucky soccer player. Things would have been so much easier if I didn't get into like acting and this.
right.
I mean, I like this a lot, but
fun
like
thing to do more than
man.
you want to do it for fun rather than like
Yeah.
as a full career. It could be like a back of the mind thing to do if you need money or just to put something out there.
Well, let's bring this up to a conclusion. Let's talk a bit about what's going on in the world today. There's, of course, three big things happening right now. COVID, of course, Black Lives Matter, and the presidential election, which
Presidential election. Oh
watching.
boy.
Today is Wednesday, right after the election. So we currently, right now, don't know who will win, who won, who will win. I have to speak like that.
Yeah.
But what are your thoughts on any of this stuff? Anything you want to talk about? COVID, of course, affects all of us. That's a good topic to talk about, or anything else that might be on your mind.
COVID has definitely been really sucky. Like, I guess I don't like using this term, but like mental health wise, I guess it's been really sucky. And I mean, education wise, it's been even suckier because I mean, I haven't learned anything this year at all. Like nothing.
That's true.
So, and I mean, I definitely miss being able to see my friends every day. I mean, I guess on the bright side of things, it's given me more time to myself. There's a lot more like, it doesn't seem more like there's more lenient time in between stuff, but like at the same time, it's kind of forced me to make room for my friends, which I like because I like hanging out with my friends, and I have to admit I've had to skip stuff like classes and stuff to go out and hang out with friends, which I'm completely fine with. Some of my classes I don't care about at all, but I know I have to do good in them because GPA, college. But yeah, COVID has been really draining, to say the least. It's kind of drained me emotionally, physically, creatively, and I guess if I got to do four things, maybe spiritually too. But I mean, I don't know. Basically, it's been really draining. I don't like it. I like being in person with people in my day-to-day life, and yeah,
What did it
that's
affect
pretty
you
much
during summertime when, between school?
Summertime sucked because like I mean, I didn't really hang out with friends too much. So, and I always made these plans like, oh, I'm going to use the quarantine to do this or that. Like I said, I was going to write and make a short film. And well, I'm a chronic procrastinator. So I always got in my own way saying, oh, I have all summer to do it. And I should just enjoy and play video games right now. So I made all these plans that I never followed through. So until like a little bit ago where I actually wrote something, and even now I haven't had the time to finish a second draft because of COVID and school. So yeah.
Video is cutting in and out on us. Is there, I don't know, a button to push or something? Maybe mute your video and the audio will be okay.
Yeah. Ash, can you hear us? I'm gonna take that as like a no. I don't think she
I
can
think
hear us.
Ash
Can't
is.
respond right now.
I think she's like gone.
Hello?
Hello?
Hi.
Hello?
You are a robot. You
Like-
are a robot.
Me.
You sound like Eve from Wally.
Now?
Yes, now I can hear
Now?
you. You talking?
I can hear like what we've already spoke.
Yeah, I think there's like a huge amount of like internet lag.
I think he's like behind like 10 seconds.
Yeah.
Hello, you're speaking to Sebastian from the future.
Yes.
I need you to say mangoes.
I need you to say mangoes.
If
Oh,
you are
wow.
in our reality, I need you to say mangoes. Say the code word mango.
Because I can just find time. Mangoes?
Yes!
Yeah. There we go. There we go. Yeah, Ash, we think you're gonna have to like mute your video or something.
Mangoes.
No, she's still behind.
Mangoes. Are we good?
Mangoes.
Mangoes? Are we good? Hello? Classic? Are we good?
Oh
No, we're not
god.
good.
Might
This
need
is
to drop
funny.
out and come on back
This
in,
is my
or just
Yeah, maybe like X out of the Zoom and try to come back.
work for Sebastian.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, she's gone.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh,
Well, I guess Sebastian, you can follow up my whole thing about Rona.
Rona? Oh, yeah. Okay. So, Corona has been a mess. I hate it. I didn't like it. I feel bad. I feel grateful that I'm okay, that my family's okay, and that my grandparents that are in Argentina are okay. I do feel bad for the people that went in contact with people with Corona. And I know for some people it wasn't their fault, but for some people it was their fault. So they're kind of, they can't really say anything. They're like, oh, why, how did I get Corona? Yeah, you went out with a party of 20 people. I mean, you should have expected it at this point.
Yeah.
So I don't know why we became less fearful of it over the course of having more people with Corona. It just seems like when it started out, oh man,
Everyone's freaking out.
I'm scared that 100 people just got infected in Lexington. Now it's like 500 people or like 1,200 people, and we're like, it's nothing. It's nothing.
Not that bad.
It's not that bad.
I think it's because it's become like a normal part of life by this point, and it's like we treat it like it's the flu now. To be honest, like we're just like, oh, flu season. I mean, I still got stuff to do. I don't care.
Right.
Stuff like that. So I think that's why we're like that, to say the least.
I mean, I've had the flu. Hello?
Hey Ash, are you
Am
good?
I robotic? So apparently my freaking hotspot freaked out because it all turned off and then it just turned back on. And I was just like, oh my lord. And I turned on my video without my hotspot having a panic.
it's a little better.
It's still bad. You're good. You're just fine.
You're fine. Oh no.
Oh god, we're back.
Okay. My internet connection's unstable. Let me just turn off my video.
What?
That was a wrap right there. That was like.
What's going
What you gotta do to get up?
My speaking, is it okay now?
It's still really buggy.
It's delayed, and then when it tries to catch up, it goes really fast.
Wait, let me.
Yeah, I mean, I guess we could try to let Sebastian finish his thoughts, and then we can all mute ourselves and turn off our cameras.
Yeah, can you help me out a little bit? Is it better? Is it glitching anymore? Hello?
It's
a little bit, kind of, sort of.
It's better now, I think.
Well,
better than it was, but like it's still pretty bad.
it's just you. No one else. I used my built-in background. I changed the mic. I changed the mic. That's it. That's all I did. Now all of a sudden it feels like it's working now. So you're not glitching anymore. Am I glitching still? Hello?
I think.
I
don't.
Oh, this is really funny.
Well, we need to close this out pretty soon.
But I guess.
School's fault. I'm telling you.
Sebastian, did you finish your thoughts on Rona?
No, but
no. All right, she's muted herself. Yeah, finish your thoughts.
Okay.
We'll be quiet.
Okay. So, Corona really has been like a roller coaster in like emotional feelings mentally and like not being able to do a lot. Summer sucked. I blame it mostly on Corona. I mean, we were supposed to go down to Tennessee for 2 days for the lake, and we weren't even allowed because apparently Tennessee was like, no. They had like a spike in
No.
something. I think it was one of the major states, either Florida or California or both, like spiked like 15,000, I think, or somewhere around there. And then they kind of like wanted to close like roads and like temperature check people and like test them. And that just made my parents worry more that if we were going to go down to the lake where people often go to, to just hang out and, just be and exist. My parents were like, we should rather not go. Like we probably should go. Oh,
she's gone again.
Make sure you try again.
Yeah.
And so I think, to be honest about Corona now, I think we need to be a lot more careful if we want to like lower the numbers, because there's no way that Corona is going to just full up vanish. Like it's the flu now, like not comparing it to like effectiveness and like how it treats the body. It's going to be common now. It's just going to be a normal part of our life, and we're going to have to get used to it, just like the flu. Like we're not going to be able to get rid of it with a vaccine, like the vaccines that we get for our children to not have, measles or polio. I mean, I feel like it's going to be our daily thing that we're going to have to just go out there and just put ourselves at risk always, like the flu. But now it's worse than before, because it's worse than the flu. But I mean, we just have to adapt to the situation and be more careful, like I said. And I feel like things shouldn't open up just yet. I feel like we should have stricter rules on gatherings and like people with like out there, and like having like bars are still open like until 11, and like the distancing between tables and like workers and people are still pretty close. And
We're going to be going back in like full force to school in January.
Yeah, I mean they had a plan that we were going to go back in like November, but you see all the cases that brought up. I mean, it's going to be worse if we just have all 1,500 students, or like how many students we ever like had in our school to just go at the same time. And like still transitioning, if we did have that plan where we transition, some students will go to school one day and some will have it online and go back and forth. It still would have had a problem that if our parents ever got, Corona and passed it down to their kid within the 2 weeks of not having symptoms, that would have been very bad. And I don't think we have the type of we don't have like the amount of people to help with cleaning down and spraying places with Lysol to just be like, yeah, all the students should come to school, or only half of them should go to school. I think we just need to keep it to online learning. But at the same time, I really liked in person, because I learned more in person. And I want to see people again. I want to be friends with people again, because I've lost connections to people, and it's really hard to keep connected with people when you're indoors all the time. But I mean, we just got to be more careful. I mean, honestly, this is just going to be a common thing that we have in our everyday life. We need to be more careful with how we proceed to like be out in the open.
Are you guys excited about the idea of going back to school in January, or would you prefer to stay virtual?
God, no. I mean,
No, what? You don't want to go back?
I just think it's a terrible idea. I mean, I like the idea of being able to see my friends in person and all that at school and being able to go to my classes in person. I like that idea. But I mean, with all that's happening and with all that's happening with the virus, it's still like growing and all that. It's just not practical, and it puts a ton of people like at risk to getting it. Because I mean, not everybody. I mean, people have like grandparents and stuff who live with them, where their parents are older. So I mean, it's not like, look, the vast majority of students will be unaffected by the virus if they catch it. But the real thing is they'll bring it home,
Yeah.
and that can affect their living situation, either by infecting an elderly parent or grandparent and all that. And it's just not
Yeah.
safe. And I think it's a terrible idea. And I think the school board's got some crackpot philosophy that everything's going to be fine after the election or after New
Yeah.
Year's 2021. Woo, the curse has been lifted. We're fine. It's
Yeah, they have vaccines on hold, and they
Yeah.
think that once the vaccines are just gonna go out, everyone's gonna be okay. And to be honest, like if we're not treating it the same as the flu, but if you know a little bit of science,
Mhm.
just I like science a lot. I'm kind of a top student for science.
just
Both of them
kind of a top student.
a top student of
Absolutely.
science. Both of them are viruses. Okay, you don't vaccine the flu. You get a flu shot, and that's what they're doing with corona, right? They're putting a small little dose of corona in a
Mhm.
in a dead virus cell so that your body can fight it, so they can be immune to it. But I don't know if they noticed, but viruses adapt and mutate to each host. So you never get the same case twice. No one ever gets the same corona like symptoms twice. So to the point that people think that we've gotten to the point where we know what it is, we still don't know what it is. Like we don't know what symptoms you can get. Some people have been getting fatigue, short, out of breath, and I mean it can still be considered like the normal flu. I mean, one of my friends had fatigue and shortness of breath, and when she went to the clinic, she was tested for flu, and she said she was diagnosed with flu. She never had corona, because I mean, as the flu mutates, because it is also a virus, the coronavirus also mutates. And not, I mean, you can't really prepare for it. We just have to make it so that we're being more careful. I don't think that everything is just going to mull over once the vaccines are out. I think it's just going to either make it worse, and people are just going to, not take it as seriously with the rules and just not go to places with masks because, oh, look at me, I got my vaccine today. I'm just going to march into Walmart and breathe on everyone. It's just, I don't think they're really doing anything, to be honest, because they have it on hold. They have 2 vaccines on trial for hold. And I don't think this is just going to be a thing that is going to be fixed over a day or a couple of weeks. It's going to be a long period of years until we finally make something that can, help us prevent it, just like the flu.
That's the big reason why at the beginning of the pandemic, Fauci and all them were kind of like, oh, you don't need a mask and all that, because it evolved and stuff. They didn't yet know the symptoms and all that kind of thing. They didn't really know how it spread. And I mean, yeah, you're right. The government has a zero plan to deal with it at all. I mean, the president's been having huge rallies in all these states with all his supporters going,
Oh, is this the question
we love
on?
Trump, coughing up on all of each other and screaming out their little like
Oh,
germ particles all over the back of some poor old woman's head. Like, come on, guys, you're literally plague rats. So, yeah, no, it definitely like, yeah, it sucks, and we don't know what we're doing. The rest of the world has like gotten their crap together barely, and the U.S. is still stuck doing whatever the heck we're doing.
Topic. Is
So
my mic okay now?
your mic
Yeah.
is fine now. Yes.
Pretty good.
I had to power cycle my whole computer. Let me see if I could turn on my video. Cross your fingers.
You might
It
crash.
sounds good.
It sounds good.
I sound okay?
Yeah,
You
you
sound okay. The video's fine. The video's fine.
So I missed 2 questions, right?
Oh no, we're wrapping
was-
up.
We're wrapping up.
we're
It's just
wrapping
up.
Rona.
Actually,
We're just
Okay.
talking about
coming
Rona.
in right at a great time for you to voice your own
Talking
opinion.
about Rona.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm just gonna kind of make a little list, short list.
Mhm.
For me, the virus is deadly. Unfortunately, I think I'm the only one in here that can say that. Like personally, myself, I can die. Like you may have family members that are at high risk. I'm also at high risk, higher than you or anyone else. Almost everyone in our school. I wouldn't say everybody because there are people just like me, but
You're more at risk than the average like high schooler.
yeah, which is unfortunate. But I've been going to only one person's house this whole time to suck off their Wi-Fi mainly, but also because they're my friend. But and what you were saying about the government is completely true. I cut it just the perfect time to hear the end of Sebastian's opinion and then hear the end of Will's. If we had just shut the whole country down, in my opinion, if we had shut everything down right as it started, just like other countries have, like Korea and Asian countries, we probably would be in our second stage of virus mutation and development by now. 100%. We would have been second stage, just like the Eastern Hemisphere. It's just because we're stubborn and we like July 4th barbecues and rallies that you can just hold online. Like, I don't know. It's just been stressful, everything and everyone, health, government. The virus
Clearly,
really.
it affects you every day, Ashlyn. I mean, do you go out?
Yeah, I do go out sometimes. Like I used to wear a mask all the time anyways, like because I can't even get the flu without ending up in the ER or whatever. So I can't end up with like a temperature above like 100 or anything. So I was used to wearing masks at this point. And the people who were complaining they had to wear a mask, I just wanted to go up to them and say, you didn't have to wear a mask for 4 months straight anytime you left your house, even to walk outside. So I don't know. It's just, I get agitated at people that don't wear their masks in the store. Like, I wish I worked there just so I could kick them out.
You want to smack
Yeah,
them?
I agree. My
Mhm.
giant pet peeve is like people who like wear the mask but don't cover their nose and stuff.
Yeah, or like, I saw a woman in the store at Kroger's the other day
Yeah.
wearing just it on one of her
Yeah,
ears.
just on her ear.
If you don't put it on, I'm going to come over and slap you and I'll end up in jail because I'm 18 now.
Bro,
I got
sometimes
so-
I see people like that and I just want to go uppercut, bro.
Put the mask on, like, fix it.
Yeah.
Sometimes it falls off.
So,
Like
Yeah,
Yeah, sometimes
it's
it's true. It does slide off.
Like
but
we're
you gotta-
covering our nose, and like if we yawn, it just.
you should be able to adjust it as soon as you finish yawning.
As soon as you.
Like,
Yeah.
you're just like,
As soon as
yawn.
you finish, I'm doing it right now. As soon as you finish, you should like
I
pull it
don't
up.
sneeze in my mask just in case. I always like take it off and sneeze in my elbow, then put it back on because I don't want to have the germs in the mask. But you should be able to wear a mask in public. You can always just stay home and sleep all day. I know some people don't have that option, of course, for like jobs and stuff. And I salute people like that, but like at the same time, be a little more careful. And don't throw parties like UK did.
Yeah, that was stupid.
Those parties.
Oh yeah.
Oh. I heard about it and was like,
huge party. a huge like.
We'd probably have our crap figured out if college students would just sit back and relax for a little while. You don't need a party every single time your team wins a game. Sorry.
But it's fun.
But it's
Parties are
fun.
fun.
They're excuses. It's
I've
fun.
never been
It's
to a
fun
party.
though.
Like I've never been to like a birthday party, any kind of party, because I don't do social gatherings that much. So I don't get the celebration of sports teams winning because I'm also not into sports. But risking your life or other people's lives to celebrate your team winning is kind of selfish to that college, sort of. But you know, it's for me it's selfish. I don't think like if you play sports, I feel like you won't think it's as selfish because you're celebrating your win. You've done it. You worked hard for this. But I don't think you should celebrate like intensely like that. You can always do it. FaceTime's a thing. You can always do like a Netflix party thing they have now and just watch a couple movies. You don't have to go out and have a good time.
That's true.
Well,
Play video
kinda-
games from home. I don't know.
I guess we should finish
Play some
out.
video
I guess we're
games.
done.
Guys,
Yeah.
have any parting
Yeah.
words or anything? We should wrap things up here.
I'm sorry, Matt.
Parting
Maybe
words.
next time.
I guess my parting words would be stay safe. Take care of yourself and watch out for others. Those would be my parting words.
If you like this podcast and want to see more, drop a like, subscribe, and make sure
Yeah.
to stay tuned. Ring the
Subscribe.
notification bell to know when the next
Smash that
podcast.
Yeah,
Smash that
smash that like button. It's right here. It's right by my finger. Smash that like button.
Do it. Yep.
Absolutely demolish that like button. Hit
Is that
subscribe, guys, and I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.
Comment what was your favorite part of the podcast.
Me breaking. That was my favorite part.
Yeah, mangoes.
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 Mangoes. Best part, by far.
Best part. 10 out of 10.
Best part.
If we get 10 likes, we'll make another one.
All right, guys.
All right.
Well, Sebastian, Ashlyn, you guys are wonderful.
All right.
And
Thank you, Mr. Keaton.
see
All
ya
right,
next
cool.
time.
We love you.
All right. See ya.